Another topic that it's important that you know about are coterminal angles. When we think about the word coterminal, when something terminates, it ends. So terminal implies that something is ending, and the prefix co implies that it's ending with something else. Remember when we're drawing an angle, so if I asked you to draw the angle 300 degrees, we're going to start along the x-axis, always going to start along the x-axis. That's going to be what we call our initial ray. And if we're drawing a positive angle, we're going to work upwards, and we're going to travel 300 degrees around an imaginary circle. So I'm going to go 90, 180, 270, and then another 30 degrees. So this represents a 300-degree angle. All right, that 300-degree angle goes around, and there's my 300 degrees. What would be a coterminal angle with a 300-degree angle? Well, let's first find a negative angle that's coterminal with the 300-degree angle. If it's negative, then that means that we're going to work down. How far would I have to go? Remember, always starting off that x-axis. How far would I have to go in order to reach that same terminal ray, that same ending point? This ray right here is called our terminal ray. How far would I have to travel? Well, if the entire circle all the way around is 360 degrees, then I would have to travel 60 degrees in a negative direction in order to reach that 300-degree angle. So we call 300 degrees and negative 60 degrees coterminal angles. They both start along the x-axis heading in a positive direction, and they both end along the same terminal ray. Let's find one more while we're at it. Instead of traveling around the circle once, let's go all the way around a 360 and then go another 300 degrees. If we think about how far we've gone, we've traveled 360 degrees and then another 300 degrees. So we've traveled a total of 660 degrees. That was my original 300, and I've added on another 360. So we've traveled all the way around the circle again. 660 degrees is a coterminal angle with the 300 degrees. An easy way to remember how to get a coterminal angle is just to add or subtract 360 degrees, and you'll find a coterminal angle. If we're dealing in terms of radians, the process is the same, but sometimes we just have to think a little bit harder. So let's go ahead and talk about let's do a angle of pi over 4. Pi over 4, well, pi over 4 is a 45-degree angle. Now, if I'm talking in terms of radians, here's my pi over 4 angle. I again worked off the x-axis, and I worked in a positive direction. But if I want to get the coterminal angle with this, what am I going to do? I'm going to travel all the way around my circle yet again. So I can go all the way around and then go another pi over 4. So this is the equivalent of 2 pi plus pi over 4. 2 pi takes me all the way around 360 degrees. This would be the same as 2 pi plus pi over 4. If we want to think about writing this in a different way, 2 pi is the same as 8 pi over 4. 8 over 4 is just 2. We can add on pi over 4, and that's the equivalent of 9 pi over 4. Another option for you, if you're more comfortable doing it in degrees, is simply to convert to degrees, which would be a 45-degree angle. Think about what's coterminal with 45. That would be a 405-degree angle. I just added 360. And then taking that and converting it back into radians. So multiplying that times pi over 180 degrees and ending up at 9 pi over 4. However you get there is fine, as long as you end up in the right place. In terms of radians, another way I can get to pi over 4 is by traveling in a negative direction around the circle. So I can start at my x, and I can head down, which would be in a negative direction. I can head in a negative direction, and I've gone all the way around except I haven't quite reached 360 degrees or 2 pi. So if I think about what I'm at there, I'm at 2 pi minus pi over 4. I've gone all the way around, but I've left it a little bit short. That's going to be 7 pi over 4. And because I headed in a negative direction, the coterminal angle would be negative 7 pi over 4. These are a little harder when you do it in terms of radians, and they take a little bit more getting used to. But just remember, you're just adding or subtracting 2 pi. And that's the equivalent of adding or subtracting 360 degrees. That was supposed to be an equal sign. Have a wonderful day.